Schmoedown rockers? Well, one thing I can't talk about yet until next week is what I already saw on a live stream. It's probably a good thing, because I have choice words that may not come across very well and probably be considered a hot take. My mind will probably change later on that. So, that's all I can say on that. Though the closest thing I could say is probably what happened prior to the actual live event. And that's with the Schmoedown. It's not the rundown, it's fucking Ken's thing. We'll just go with that. I don't know why I'm blanking. We'll just go with that. If I have to be corrected for some stupid reason, fine. Instant Schmoedown. Never mind. No need for correction. Anyway. And that's also involved. But before we get to that, might add a little of that. Actually, you know what? I might hint with some things, or at least certain things that need to be, because they kind of involve certain things that happened in this week. Especially if it involves my man, the Smasher, Kevin Smets. Looks like he pretty much just needed to work through Free For All, and to some extent the MCU exhibition, needed to work out the kinks. In fact, and the fact that you were able to at least tie yourself up with Kalinowski, yet alone, was able to be the one to knock out the champ Rachel Crusher Cushion in that, which should have been enough of a hint at things to come. And the level of which Navarro was never going to reach. Would have been nice, but, you know, would have liked to have had a round 3 thing, which we know Kalinowski's probably going to do that, though. That's when things are going to get tough, but we'll see what happens with that. And if he can beat Kalinowski, then there's no way it's not going to lead him to something like Destination San Diego. Here we come, man. Also, speaking of that, and the fan page, which you should totally check out, the Trivia Dungeon, we finally, as of yesterday, and I want to thank our fellow administrator, Beaker Ham, if I'm pronouncing that right. I want to say Ham, but I'm not sure if that's right or not. But anyway, Beaker, if you hadn't done your name drop thing, I doubt it would have worked out, because mobile, for some reason, it wouldn't allow me to pull up Harloff, or Cherubin. So finally we got him on the page. But that's not going to keep. But as long as, you know, we still got the run going that we do, with Smets, I think we'll be alright. And hopefully he might be truly our Dan Morrill for the IG, in a way that Mara kind of was for a little bit, but just wasn't able to pull off. Because she just wasn't able to have the mental game, which sucks. I miss her. And if there was ever a chance that would basically break me, it would be a Mara Smets match at this point. But that's asking a lot. More so of Mara, and probably of Dan Morrill, and ruin the relationship, which I don't want that. So I guess I'll just not have Mara. I have Smets, makes up for that. So, anyway, that was pretty much a slaughter as expected. I was pretty much biased, so it didn't matter at that point for me. But so it was fun to see other reactors and how they were about that stuff. So especially my fellow moderators from D2A. Case name dropping, yes, I'm name dropping Doman, Case Cornelius, and I want to say Cornelius, but I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too. And of course, Nico Suave Regali. Nicolas, apparently, as according to the recent stuff. That was fun, seeing them consistently smash. That was with their whiteboards. That was lovely. But anyway, the matches itself was a plus between Smets thing and, well, just getting to see Emma play, I guess, and find a way to come up with an outfit that just kind of just breaks me. almost as much as what happened with Spectacular 3. That was more on Clark Wallace's outfit because of I was still dealing with my breakup, and she wasn't that, and my ex was an Audrey Hepburn fan, so that was more of that, but still. Yeah, I mean, it's no secret that, so it's kind of a little but I kind of knew Chance would have more likely pull out the win. The fact that she even given the comments Navarro had said, though I heard from that it was actually Jay Washington who said something, so I feel like Navarro's accusations are bullshit. And he ate his words since, apparently she did a better job going up against Chance Ellison because she at least made it to round 3 than as opposed to what happened with Navarro having only not even made it out of round 2. Which it seems to pass between that and Jay's matchup. So that's kind of, I call bullshit with that. But I feel like that was just added in there on purpose just to come up with some excuse to try to make her come off as heel. I don't believe she is. She hasn't done remotely anything that screams heel as far as I'm concerned. So just back the fuck off. Alright? Alright. As opposed to Roxy, which we'll get to that eventually. So, yeah. I really... And, speaking of those, if any of you have also found out something recently that surprisingly I didn't notice. And I feel awful for not noticing, because apparently was a member of Action Army, though apparently he's kind of here nor there when it comes to that whole Civil War thing. At least the only Civil War he thinks of is involves Marvel and Captain America. Whether it be movie or comic book, apparently. Don't blame him. That was my nerddom. My open the castle doors to nerddom, was that Civil War storyline in the comics. The first one, not the second one that ironically came out the same time as the movie for Captain America. But anyway, aka Avengers 2.5. But, yeah, he had his one little... It was first time he ever had to deal with an opponent's choice. And for having been given a category that is next to impossible, like Who Said It, he did fairly well, despite having the one steal. But he went 100% on the steals when it came to Navarro, because Navarro screwed up. He should have stuck with the Harry Potter. And then they did the one thing, and he wound up on Lord of the Rings. It was funny to see Kaiser do his thing about it, and get upset. So basically doing his thing, and Ken Knapsack just like, if you want to complain for him, which was just rich, and Kaiser was like, no, we're good. And by that point it got on Middle Earth, it was over. It was over. Even Smets already knew that from the fact that we respect you, but you know what? Your time is kind of done for right now. But if you want to make the Dan Murrell type of comeback, by all means, if you have to wait, we have to wait a year for it, or 6 months maybe for a possibility. I don't know. It all really depends on whether or not if he even wants to join in. And his comments on the fact that he's old doesn't help me. I'm 30. You're literally a year older than me, and you're saying this. And Smets is fucking 40. He is 9 years your senior, and you throw that shit in? Come on, man. Regret, pain, and grief. That's exactly what happened with it. Is essentially what RPG apparently stands for now. Because that's exactly what he's going through, and he's going to have to get over that shit and become what an RPG is supposed to be, a machine or submachine gun, which is what Navarro at one point was, but now it's not the case. And what we're going to get, we're finally getting it. That's the thing that was, apparently he wound up in Houston. Would have loved to have been there, but, distance issues. and I live around the St. Louis area. Speaking of that, got to see Call to Actions podcast, by the way. For Smets. That was a good interview. And to Alex. Hey, Alex. Anyway. Yeah, I didn't know you were from St. Louis, because you went off Central Time around the end of the thing. I was like, girl, I'm looking for someone to talk Schmoedown at least around this area. That's very hard to find on my end. I mean, you're actually in the St. Louis area, just, let me know, hit me up or something, You got other Schmoedown friends, I need some ventilation with this, aside from this, because sometimes doing this ain't enough. But anyway, yeah, and then, plus just, whew, so I may like Grease now, plus I'm starting to think that was actually Kalinowski's jacket, usual corruption jacket that she borrowed, just to not break but without breaking kayfabe, and that's why he wound up wearing the navy blue jacket instead of his usual black leather, because she was borrowing it. And I loved what she did at the end of this. That was the big thing, reveal of that. And plus, the cutscenes were alright. Booker just saying things that was already kind of announced, mostly through Collider Live, and involving what was supposed to happen, I guess, with our Action Civil War coming to a head situation between Andrew Guy and Ben Bateman type of thing. That's what that was building up to. Another promo that built up to it, which I'm guessing is Roxy being the one that's hugging Guy. Because she's already said she's a guy girl, and we already knew that. And plus they used all this other stuff. So, yeah. Not to mention, chances, and thanks to Emma's little thing, and plus between him, her, and Sam going at, which Sam had to be at the desk of all things, and yes, he basically made it clear we're finally going to get the Oyama Chance match we've been asking for, and on top of that, Chance is going to be going in and making an IG debut. And I guess a 4-way match? Though at some point I was hoping that we might actually get it, that the Intergatum thing would still be a thing, for a tournament would still be a thing, because I'd love for that to still happen. Is that even going to happen at this point? Because it would be nice to see, that's because we're going to need a tournament again just to get what we've been able to get out of. Sure, we can wait until, if it's after Comic-Con, then fine, or at least building up through Comic-Con, because we know Smets is not, as much as I would like him to be a part of that if he doesn't wind up winning it, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that, I guess. And, I'm not sure who the other people are in the matchup for the Intergeekdom besides possibly Chance, and we'll see how he goes. Of course, being under the tutelage of a former IG champ in Mike Kalinowski, he might have a shot. I don't know if he's actually done it in the fan leagues, though. He might have done more so singles teams in the fan leagues, but I'm not sure if he did IG there, because I have a hard time catching up with fan leagues, though I'm trying a little bit with the Patreon page, a little bit. I do need to properly catch up, because I've only got to see Woodburn and Nico's match, my two fellow, my moderators my one moderator and admin, respectively, unless I got those two mixed up. But regardless. So it was kind of neat and interesting to see that one for what it was, I guess. So. But I guess other than, and that, also there's just the promo in that matchup, at least the beginning one for that one, and there was no end promo, I guess, with the Smets Navarro matchup. There couldn't be, not really. And plus, of course, it's going to happen at Collision. Smets and KO, and the match we were supposed to get between, which I guess is part of the reason why we probably won't be getting the match we were supposed to get at Collision, because Mike won't be between trying to compete for a number of contenders match and then trying to face off in teams with Chance to go up against Founding Fathers would be next to impossible. It'd probably be better off giving Kalinowski time so he's 100%, which is, I think Smets wants that anyway. Just as much as I would like to. And I know I know I'm part of Corruption Page, but I founded the Smets page because I believed in the guy, and I believe he'll beat Kalinowski. Do I believe it'll be like what's been happening in the past couple matches? Not really. I don't. Kalinowski is fresh former champ. He's more than likely to at least be the first to get him to a round 3, to push him to a round 3. Not that it hasn't happened between the two of them before already in that, and I think he could have knocked out both him and Cushing, which would have been more impressive, though the fact that he was able to at least tie it up, do enough to tie it, to not only knock out Cushing, but also be the one to knock out Cushing, but to tie it up and force Sean to basically earn his title as knowing all MCU in that matchup. So, and it was, yeah, and plus Smets got to talk a little bit more usually as opposed to Kaiser, though it's not like Kaiser really had a whole heck of a lot to go off of compared to what we had with the match with Jay and the build-up going into that match. That and the match itself altogether just felt entertaining. While this one, it's not, it's more just the build-up from the other matches, but it just shows that Smets is another level. And I think the only way to truly prove that is him beating Kalinowski. Fine, is him having to beat Kalinowski. Sure, it would be more, and eventually Cushing, Destination San Diego, Comic-Con, and it's gonna happen. And if it don't, congratulations. Congratulations, Kalinowski. You beat him. You get another shot at showing up against Rachel for the Inner Geekdom, and maybe you'll get it back. But if you do, that's going to make it all the more sweeter for Smets to go after your ass. So if he don't beat you, what doesn't kill him will make him stronger, and he will make sure not only to learn from mistakes he made in that match, but to make sure he finds whatever mistakes you've made in yours. So, I know he's coming for you, but I'm not sure you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Because Jay didn't, and sure as shit Navarro didn't. To be fair, Moore's a good kid. He's funny. I'd love to see him in Inner Geekdom again. I love him. I love seeing him. I don't know what, apparently, for breaking kayfabe, apparently him and Smets are cool, and if you're going by that one interview, so check that out. It's also on the page, thanks to Danny Koss, who's also an administrator from Action Army. But anyway, and yeah. I think that's about all I have to say for this week that I know of, aside from the fact that I think the whole Bibbs and Kid thing, just make the #1 contenders match already. Quit teasing us with this. At least I know one other form of thing that have been teased throughout the past few months is finally between that thing and what we already got out of the whole what wound up being Cosmic Fury, Team Cosmic Fury, Crimson Fury. I don't know why I say Cosmic Fury. I think that's because of Nico. I don't know. Anyway, that's it, guys. The matches this week, the Inside Schmoedown thing. Looking, and though I was also a little. Speaking of that, I was also. It's like, guy, what do you got, dude? You already got Roxy, you know? Hell, you even got the Wild Man on your side. Did you have to take Emma? You're breaking my balls, man. You're breaking my balls. Also, there's something I will say, but in fact, you may wind up liking what I have to say for next week's. I'll save it then. Till then, what do you guys think about it? about this past week's matches, as well as the Inside Schmoedown thing that's to build in, lead up, which I might reiterate and talk about in the next week's thing. Doesn't matter. Just leave a comment below, let me know and what things maybe I missed, and maybe we can talk about it, hash it out there, or possibly through the Facebook pages once I get those uploaded. And anyways, and that's, I guess, is about it. If you like this video, rock that like button with thrust if you must. As always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. If you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown and Schmoedown rocks is cooking.